Peace, y'all. It's your boy Johnny Fastlane here with allhiphop.com. So, Drake and Joe Budden go off on each other on social media. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, Joe, this situation is crazy as hell, right? Because Drake and Joe Budden, they're basically dissing each other on social media, right? So you guys know on Friday, Drake dropped his new album For All the Dogs, and to me, it was a pretty solid album, right? The whole situation is that over the weekend, of course, Joe Budden did his podcast on Saturday, and he basically said that the album sounds very childish, almost like Lil Yachty rapping. He said, stop messing with these 25-year-old girls and messing with these young rappers. You are 36, right? It was crazy because Joe Budden said he had to Google how old Drake was after he listened to the album because it sounds like a young nigga rapping, right? But he's about to be 37 in 20 days, so basically Joe Budden expressed his disappointment for the album, right? Drake responded. Drake said, man, I'm happy for my life, and you failed as a rapper, and I'm just glad that I don't have a podcast with Best Buy microphones, basically dissing Joe Budden, right? Joe Budden responded and showed that he is number 7 with his episode 8:45 a.m. in Fayetteville, number 7 as far as podcast goes in the entire country, right? So Joe Budden's podcast is doing pretty well, right? But Drake's album is doing pretty well too, man. Besides Joe Budden not liking it, everybody else seems to like it. The song First Person Shooter is one of the biggest songs on there with Drake and J. Cole. And I mean, it seems to be doing well, right? I think that Drake is going to go gold in the first week, which is insane, which means he's going to sell about 450,000 to 500,000 copies in just the first week, right? So whether or not this beef is fabricated or real, it's just doing great for both of them as far as the numbers goes, right? I mean, really and truly, Drake and Joe Budden have had a love-hate relationship for years. I mean, Drake came out with some songs dissing Joe Budden. Joe Budden came out with a whole mixtape dissing Drake. I think they're both smashing the same girl around the same time or whatever the case may be. But then, of course, they patched it up. But I think that, you know, they kind of are frenemies, right? Which is pretty dope because it seems to be working out for both of them. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.